and show us your tips. A belated, what are we up to? Midweek preview show. Daggy Beaver with you on 29th of September to look through midweek racing from Kenso and Geelong. Beaver, what's going on?
Mate, just working away. Looking forward to being able to get out and about. Not long now, mates, and back into life as we know it.
Yeah, a couple of weeks away. We can get back out and about, which is exciting. Should we get straight into Kenso? We'll get straight into this. And
Let's get into it, mate.
Takeaways from the weekend?
Big takeaways from the weekend, mate. It seems so long ago, but Chalet was unbelievable.
Yep.
About the only horse that could come from well back in the field, and was dynamite. Very impressive return, but we know it flies first up.
I don't think we need to mention probably anything that didn't race on the rail and up front at Rose Hill. We can forgive.
Yeah, we can just forgive. I mean, I just don't understand horses like Entrevier, why they took it back to the tail. That was just a dead set butcher job. Animo was a moral beaten. I know Home Affairs beat Paulet, but it just had the other horse is a better horse. I'm sure of it. But yeah, the rails was hot, and anything that wasn't there wasn't really given a chance.
I was surprised throughout the day how little attempt there was to ride anything out of the comfort zone. So even Ellsberg in the last, I thought, how's this? Or even I ended up backing in the Congo, but I thought, the risk is that you're going to have 5 horses trying to go forward, but no one wanted to risk anything.
They just don't do it. Daggy,
you get a little bit more at Melbourne. Like you get a little bit more at Moonee Valley and the like, but I would have thought by the end of the day someone would have tried to put a couple of those horses out of play, because I figured in the Congo couldn't miss a place, and I backed it the win as well, but had a really good place bet because how's it going to miss a place? And Ellsberg by the end of the day felt like a moral.
Yeah. And like Ellsberg was a very smart ride, right? Because there was a bit of pace in that race, and it did just sit off them.
You just made sure got the rail.
It was a good win. It was a very nice win, because you did get a little bit concerned when it didn't lead, but it was just cleverly ridden in 4th or 5th, and it was always going to be too strong for the others. And horses like Kiku and they were sort of at play, and was a huge run, but some of those are not given a chance when that happens.
100%. So
onwards and upwards.
My favourite race day of the weekend just about is Epsom Day, so we look forward to that on Thursday night. The Epsom and the Metrop, and whatever's happening in Melbourne. There's another Group 1 down there that I've forgotten off the top of my head. But let's get to Kenso this week, where we have the rail in the True. Good track, a bit of sort of drizzle around throughout the day, but I don't think it ain't too bad. It's around to stay for the rest of the week, I believe. But it's Kenso. We're going to be up front early and hopefully down the outside by the end of the day. We kick off with a 1,400-metre maiden for the 3-year-olds. And how are you going to start the day here? As I just noticed how heavily backed the favourite's been.
Yeah, look, I did have the favourite on top, and I've just noticed as well that they backed it. It's third up, James McDonald aboard. Looks to get all the favours here in a pretty weak event. Ran up strongly at last start at Gosford against Cooled, who went to Melbourne and had excuses. Should be winning this.
Yeah, look, on top, obviously, I wanted to make a case for Montenegro, more so last night when it was $10, and it trialled okay. It did start on debut $3.80 against Vern, so there was some expectation there. It's come back and trialled well enough. Nashon, I think, can run really well here, but it's a little bit tricky to suggest each way plays in small fields, I suppose. But I think it'll run at first 3 with the favourite there. Race number 2 is another maiden with all the Waller crew. I'm just looking who's been scratched here over the 1,250. I think it's now a bit short, but I thought the market was about right. Abel Willie trialled well enough. Nashon, right gate for this time of the day. So no issues there. At the price, I'm more happy to back Gracilia Stala, if I've pronounced that correctly. We mentioned it on debut, ran quite well, and I think will run well here. But it's a tricky one because I think Aaron Moore can run well as well as a few other unknowns with the Wallers all coming out together. So hard for me to want to take $1.80. What do you think about this race?
Yeah, I thought it was similar to you. The favourite looks like from its trials it's going to be hard to beat. The hard thing is here that the first 5 in the market are all
Yeah.
Waller trained horses, all got the 5 top jocks on board. And yeah, you're just betting a little bit blindly there and just hoping that Waller's not playing ducks and drakes with the
Yeah.
market.
Yeah. Race number 3 is benchmark 72 over the 1,300 metres. The market again's in the right order. I can't add a great deal here. Beep Test has been fantastic. Been lesser grade coming up here, but very impressive. Book J-Mac. And I thought Lady Loves to Gamble was a great return. I mentioned there at the 20s. It's better suited here, slightly up a distance. Going to get the right run for Jay Collette. And they're the two I'm going to play in the race. What about yourself?
Yeah, I'm the same, mate. I thought Beat Test looks the one to beat here. Really liked the way it won last start. The scratching of Molly Nails probably tightens it in substantially in the market. I thought it would be hard to beat anyway. And yeah, it should be hard to beat.
Race 4, the 2,400 metre staying event on the card, benchmark 72. What are you doing here?
Yeah, look, again, this is a pretty open field. Hard to line a lot of this form up. You can run these races many times. I did settle on Day Sand from the least stable. Look, really liked the way when it got the gap last start at Newcastle, it hit the line, beat Arabellini by over a length. Doesn't need it too much worse off here. Extra distance, 2,400, won't hurt it, and probably getting to peak fitness. So based on that, I thought it'd be hard to beat. And I really couldn't split the rest, so that's why I kind of had Day Sand on top.
Yeah, same. I think I like the up and coming. I think out to 2,400, well, to 23 last time, but the extra distance, this looks like it'll stay all day. And I like the way it's been extending when it has found space. And you're getting Bowman on for the apprentice. So around $4, I think it's a fair bet. I think it's an up and coming horse. And good luck to Steve Chester in the ownership of it. He's got in a couple of nice ones. He's something in that and in Grand Remore at the moment, so he's doing all right. Race number 5, 1,400 metre benchmark 72. Well, we had talked much about this. Best of the day for me. Promise of Success was very soft.
Yep.
Track and distance last time. Comes back here, and this is a weaker field.
Yeah, I thought the same. I thought it was outstanding. I had it my best bet of the day when it won last start. And it was got the right run and then just exploded. It was very hard held. It looks like it's got a bit of ability, this horse. I actually thought Head Legislator was very good last start too, and probably just runs into one that's just a better horse here.
Yep, fair comment. Was good at Kembla. The second last on the card is another 72 of the 1,250. A tricky one here. Without a great deal of confidence, I was putting much better on top. I thought it went out with a nice win. It's trialled well, coming back behind. Who did it trial behind here? Oh, Ellsberg. And it's $10. It's going to get close to control of Tim Clark. And I just feel like a lot of these, I don't say overrated, but there's just not a lot to this field. So I was just taking a double figure bet on pace to hold on and win. What were you thinking?
Yeah, I've gone for another one. I didn't think the first up run was great, but I think it's got a little bit of ability. It was a short price favourite and probably didn't run as well as thought and snuck home in the placings. But its trials have been good, and I think its form last preparation at Randwick was pretty good in I think a couple of highways. So I'm expecting it to improve today. After that run, bit more weight fitness, gets a couple of kilo claim in a pretty open race around $8. I think it presents good value.
Cool. And we wrap up the day with an 1,800 metre benchmark 72. How are you taking us home?
Yeah, pretty open event, this last one. I couldn't split, and I found it hard to split Jojo Was a Man and Ita. I thought they hold the key here. Jojo Was a Man was very good last start, led all the way, controlled the race, was still strong at the line, carried a really big weight. So I expect it probably to take up similar running here and be hard to beat. And I think Ida's just flying at the moment. 4 starts this prep, like won the last 3, and just keeps finding a way to win. Won at this track last start and beat Head of State, who come out and performed very well on the weekend. So that's in a Group 3. So that's a very good form line for a race like this. Based on it beating Head of State, I've just got Ida just in front of Jojo Was a Man.
Yeah, I end up with Ida on top as well. For everything you've said, sort of made a believer at me last race. So that was a good win, and the form's been franked well enough. So I've got it on top. I'm still not sure what Jojo beat at Kembla, and I don't know how well she was going before that. But if she's back, obviously, has got some talent. And King's Air, it's maybe a little short, but it did resume with a nice win in town on a Saturday, and then sort of lost its way a little bit. So interested to see how it goes. But at this stage, Ida on top for me. For progretracing.com.au, my best of the day will be Promise of Success. I was going to say Moment of Success. Promise of Success, and I'll make my value, the Gary Moore horse, much, much better. Your best in value, Beaver.
Yeah, my best is the same, Promise of Success. I think it'll be hardest to beat. My value is in race 6, number 2, Another One.
Excellent. We head down south for a bit of a whirlwind look at Geelong here. A tricky day. Now with the Friday nights back, we get some of these sort of very average Wednesday cards we're going to have to deal with, I think, throughout summer with a lot of benchmark 64s. But we've had a bit of success with them. So we'll see how it plays out. The rail's in the 8 metre mark from the 1700 to the 800, 10 metres the remainder. So we'll just watch a little bit for on pace here. I'm going to kick off the day with a maiden, though, where I'm going to kick off with the favourite. I think Lazuka's been good. That's been backed, actually. Been good on pace both starts. Comes here, gets pretty much control, and I think will be hard to beat. And I think looking at the scratchings, a lot of them coming out helps. What are you thinking?
Look, I thought it was a pretty open race and a tricky affair. I thought that the favourite would be hard to beat, but I've just leant slightly towards Chartbuster from the Hay Stable.
Was wide last start.
I thought it was wide last start, and I thought it fought on quite well in a fairly decent race, which the leader, the winner led all the way. So he could get a cozier run and be hard to beat.
Race 2 is a 1,443 metre maiden. How are you playing this?
Yeah, it's a very hard event here. I went for the 14, far too tempting.
Okay.
I thought its last 2 runs have been okay, just behind the placings. Oliver aboard today, drawn to get a nice run. I think it can produce a good enough finish to probably finish over the top of these. Probably won't get as far back as what it had to last start when it was drawn wide. So hopefully a little bit closer and in running and a bit closer at the end.
I defaulted to Freddie Mac. I think it can bounce straight to the front here. I hope now with the scratchings is going to be still a wide gate, but Tarly hopes should have one job and let's take it straight to the front. And I'm hoping can hang on. Has been back just looking at this too. So I was just hoping that can lead throughout. I think that's the 4-year-old not maiden, was it as well? So some of these may struggle to ever win a race. Race 3 is another maiden, again over the 14 and a bit. Short answer is in this one, I don't know. You've got a lot of unexposed form from good stables. So it was unsure. I thought of the exposed stuff. Alontro's going quite well in his benchmark, but too many questions here for me to really stamp anything. What are you thinking?
Yeah, a bit the same as you. A bit hard to draw too much of a line through these. The 2 unraced look to hold the key because anything outside of that hasn't done a lot. So I'm going to just go for the Waller trained Diamondback first starter based on the trials.
Cool. Race number 4, maiden over the 2,460 metres. I'm passing this because usually if they haven't won a race by the time they get to this, I do not want to back them anyway. So I'm happy to pass.
You took the words right out of my mouth, my friend. I thought the same. I looked at this last night and went, hooly dooly. Hope Daggy's got something here. Not surprised you don't. And I'm with you.
Yeah, for once I'll keep my money in my pocket. he says, until about 2:45 this afternoon. Race number 5 is the staying trip over the 64, which we see for the rest of the day, benchmark 64s. Yeah, again, not that keen. I thought Wanjiro, now it's got back on the drive, was a nice enough win at Bendigo last time in a very average race, but this is an average race, and it'll probably, with all the scratchings, actually probably means Grey Khan gets a soft lead, but I might up back into 2 outsiders just for something to do here because I don't have a strong opinion. How about you?
Yeah, no, I think Grey Khan with the scratchings probably looks super hard to beat. It was pretty strong last start. It led, and it got beat by a really fairly decent stayer in Steel Skies. Like Steel Skies went past it, and it did die on its run. But Grey Khan just kept fighting. Was good 2 starts back, and this is a very weak race. I mean, yeah, I'm surprised Grey Khan's $2.80, to be honest. I'll probably make it my best bet of the day based on that.
Cool. Stamping it in the staying race. I like it. Race 6, a Class 1 over the 1,340. I'll go with, I was just looking here at Petruvius from your man Paulie Pruska's stable. Lightly raced, Preble going on who's flying, and a nice trial behind Smoke and Romans, who would win this race by a lap. So, yeah, I was happy to go with the lightly raced Vitruvius, and looks like you're nodding in agreement there.
Yeah, no surprises here. I think, again, a pretty tight market in the sort of first 5 or 6 horses. I thought its form to date has been pretty good. Won well first up last time, and then they put it straight out, bring it back here. Hard to beat. $5 good price.
Yeah, agree. The 7th is as benchmark 64. What are you doing here?
I'm going to go with Pruska again here, the second favourite, $5.50. I think Narvaez probably rightly so favourite, but I think 220 is a bit skinny for a horse that's a bit inconsistent and drawn 14. It will go forward. It will have to be used up. I'm hoping Dothraki can get a good run, hopefully sit behind the pace and maybe run over it in the end.
They don't wait long to rename these horses, do they? There's a Dothraki that went around for years, not long ago. Anyway, I was going the other way.
Yeah, this is a Kiwi.
This is
the Kiwi.
Sense. Just looking now. I just looked at this and thought Neve is going to get control here. It's back from a nice enough return. We're behind a good horse, and before it was running around some good stuff. And I think leading in a leader down in grade to 64 grade is going to be very hard to beat. We'll see how the track plays to see what price we get. But respect what you said there about our man Pruska. Now I'm on the bandwagon. And we wrap up the day with a 750 metre 64. Not a lot to say here. I've got the top weight on top, Mystery Island. It's been pretty good to date. Should bounce straight to the front again and give them something to chase. What do you do?
Yeah, look, I thought this was a pretty tricky affair. I thought Mystery Island was going to be super hard to beat. I just went for Pankhurst. Really liked the way it ran at Casterton. I think they took it there to get a soft win, and they got that. It started favourite and brained them. This is certainly harder, but I think there's improvement. Again, probably from the gate 11, jumps and goes forward, and hopefully gets a good run in transit and has enough to hold on in the end.
Cool. For progretracing.com.au, your best in value from Geelong.
Yeah, my best is in race 5, number 1, Grey Khan. I think it'll lead, hold on. And my value comes up in race 7, number 10, Dothraki.
Cool. My best to be Nevaeh's down in grade. I'll go against you. And my value, the Pruska horse, was it Vitru Viru? Around the $5 or $6 mark will run well there, I believe. What do you got for us up north?
Yeah, what do we got up north? Just let me grab. I think I had 3 of us up north. So let me just grab my selections. My first bet comes up in race 2, number 1 is very short, but whack this in your multi. Race 2, number 1, better get set. my next bet comes up in race 5, number 5. That feels better. Should be hard to beat. And then I finish off the day with race 7, number 4, Who's Your Dealer? So I think if you take all of those, you'll probably end up with something around the $7.50 mark for a multi, maybe slightly better, but all hard to beat.
Beautiful. A topical tip there for all you Melbourne Storm fans. We will see everyone Thursday night.
or a mate of Reece Walsh.
It's a good week for the National Rugby League. We will see everyone.
Mad Monday.
Oh,
what a delight.
Exactly. See, it should have stayed locked down. But anyway, we'll save that for our Mad Monday after Epsom Day. We'll talk about that Thursday night. We may even see if I can find a special guest or two. Until then, Beaver, good punting this afternoon. Stay safe, and we'll see everyone shortly.